Day 40. So today, I had a couple social scenarios. One I'll share tomorrow and one I'll share today. The first one was at lunch, which I had the opportunity to split a meal with a coworker. We were walking out the door. We already knew which restaurant we were going to, and we were like, I know I'm going to order, it's like the beef fajita wrap or something like that. That's like, cool, this is a Mexican restaurant. We're going to have a lot of chips, stuff like that. Why don't we split a meal? Which is a good thing because this place is also expensive. And she was like, cool, let's do that. So we get to the restaurant. I already knew that I had the right portion set out. I knew that, I was going to eat the food and it's going to taste good and all that stuff. What I wasn't prepared for and what I did immediately upon sitting down, we knew we were going to get some queso. And then the waiter mentioned, oh, there's 4 or 5 of us. And we're like, do you want the small or the large? It's like, there's like $4 difference. And the small one, they bring out, I want to say like 2 cups of queso. Large one, they take one of those like salad bowls, and fill it in, and we're talking about like 5 cups of queso. And I was like, there's a ton of us. Let's go with the 5, or let's go with the large. So what I'm trying to say is, I went in there with a plan to have a portion, and I knew I was going to have queso. And I had the opportunity to get us a smaller version of queso, which would have meant that I would have eaten less queso. It even got to the point where, I was trying to like use the last couple of chips, and my coworker was packing some up for a coworker we were going to bring food back to. And I was just like, take it, please get it away from me because I will keep eating. And I think that's one of those dangerous scenarios where it's like, I know I'm full, and yet because it's cheese and chips and it tastes really good, I keep eating. And I did okay, right? At some point I did force the food away from me, but that wasn't until, at least 10 or 15 chips after, when I was already full, when I'd already, eaten my meal, when I was already at that point of not being hungry anymore. And so I need to not just use portion as I'm eating my food, and I'm pre-planning that food to be X amount of food, but I also need to be wary of the things that come along with that food, like going to a Mexican restaurant and expecting chips and salsa, so that I can plan and be prepared for those types of scenarios, because those will definitely happen. I live in Austin, Texas, and going to a Mexican restaurant is something you do pretty much every day. At least that or breakfast tacos. So, I've got to be prepared, and I've got to be ready for these add-ons, whether it be bread, chips, and queso, or chips and salsa, or, any type of appetizer. I need to account for that within my meal.